Hello there and welcome. It is the 20th day of May, and yes, it is another beautiful and exciting day to bring you the newspaper review right here on THAF TV. My name is Cyril Aloysius, and as you know, it is and has always been my pleasure to bring you the newspaper headline. Before I do that, we'll go on a quick break, and when we come back, all of the interesting headlines will be coming your way. Do stay tuned. Right back after the short break. Don't go away.
Have you registered for your permanent voter's card? I mean, your PVC. There is a Nigeria we all seek, a place where love, peace, security, and unity can reign supreme.
Waste no time. We want a country where peace and justice will be the order of the day.
Unfortunately, there's a problem. One big challenge this generation has to solve.
Our country cries for help every day. We need able and capable hands to lead and direct.
These capable hands can be you. Have you gotten your PVC? Have you registered for the ongoing voting process? Don't say your vote does not count. Yes, it does.
Have you gotten your PVC? Your apathy towards Nigeria's electioneering process will further inhibit our collective growth and development as a nation. Your refusal to participate and engage will keep us at a standstill. So be intentional.
I have my PVC. Your votes, your voice would go a long way in preventing absolute destruction of this country and the future of our children, the hope of tomorrow.
The 2023 Nigerian elections are just around the corner. Go out and get heard. Don't forget, your vote, your voice.
This message is proudly brought to you by THAF Media Limited. All right, you're welcome back from that short break to join me as we take a look at some of the headlines in today's papers. And the first paper we shall be looking at for today is This Day. And amongst the headlines in This Day, we have Obasanjo, Nigeria's inability to contain insecurity, a choice by her leaders. Nigeria's inability to contain insecurity, a choice by her leaders. That's according to Obasanjo. And next in This Day, we have alleged failure in protecting judiciary. NBA replies, Wike says remark inconsiderate, uncharitable. That's on page 41 of This Day. I go again. Alleged failure in protecting judiciary. NBA replies, Wike says remark inconsiderate, uncharitable. That's on page 41 of This Day. And next in This Day, we have U.S. ranked world's most secretive financial jurisdiction for illegal money. U.S. ranked world's most secretive financial jurisdiction for illegal money. That's on page 10 of This Day. And next in This Day, we have National Assembly pressures Buhari to sign act that changes rules in middle of game. National Assembly pressures Buhari to sign act that changes rules in middle of game. And lastly, in This Day, for today, we have federal government, $60 billion needed to aid access to reliable electricity and clean cooking facilities in 8 years. I go again, federal government, $60 billion needed to aid access to reliable electricity, clean cooking facilities in 8 years. All right, that's the much we can take in This Day newspaper for today. You want more details on those headlines? Do get a copy of This Day for yourself. And the next paper we shall be looking at is The Punch. And amongst the headlines in The Punch, in page 2 of The Punch, we have presidential primaries. Uncertainty over APC, PDP delegates. List as Buhari delays Electoral Act. Uncertainty over APC, PDP delegates list as Buhari delays Electoral Act. That's on page 2 of the Punch. And next we have in the Punch, Okada ban, police clash with riders. Seize 200 bikes as Lagos vows more raids. That's on page 4 and 5 of the Punch. Okada ban, police clash with riders. Seize 200 bikes as Lagos vows more raids. Next we have in page 4 of the Punch. This one here says, man traffics wife for prostitution. Sells son for 600,000 naira. That's on page 4. Man traffics wife for prostitution. Sells son for 600,000 naira. That's a very sad one there. And on page 9 of the Punch, we have devolution of power, key to national development, according to Akeredolu. Devolution of power, key to national development, according to Akeredolu. And on page 25 of the Punch, we have Lagos Airport shut temporarily. Lagos Airport shut temporarily. Flights diverted over mangled corpse on runway. Flights diverted over mangled corpse on runway. That's on page 25. And lastly, in the Punch, we have FG moves to end ASU strike. Begins arrears payment. That's on page 8 of the Punch. Federal government moves to end ASU strike. Begins arrears payments. That's on page 8 of the Punch. Okay, that's the much you can take in the Punch. I'm taking you straight now to our next and last paper for today. We shall be looking at the Daily Sun. And amongst the headlines in the Daily Sun, we have Buhari unsettles APC aspirants. Buhari unsettles APC aspirants. President silence. Non-show of preference so far leave contenders in quandary. Fears of consensus option heighten. That's on page 6 of the Daily Sun. Another interesting headline in the Daily Sun for today here reads, Soludo laments 120 billion naira debt in Anambra. That's on page 27. Soludo laments 120 billion naira debt in Anambra. That's on page 27 of the Daily Sun. And next we have in the Daily Sun on page 6, this one here says, Nigeria can overcome security challenges in 2 years with right leader. According to Obasanjo, Nigeria can overcome security challenges in 2 years with the right leader. According to Obasanjo, calls for sacrifices. That's on page 6 of the Daily Sun. And next in the Daily Sun, we have ex-EFCC boss Magu will face trial if indicted. That's according to federal government on page 26 of the Daily Sun. And next in the Daily Sun, lastly in the Daily Sun, we have police burst gunman's shrine. Others in Imo. Police burst gunman's shrine and others in Imo. That's on page 4 of the Daily Sun. Okay, that's the much we can take in the headlines in today's papers. Thank you so much for staying there and being faithful. Right about now, it's time for us to move over to our discussion segment. But shortly before we do that, we'll go on a short break. And when we return, we'll take you straight to our discussions for today. Please stick around. We'll be back after the short break. Okay, you're welcome back from that short break. And right about now, joining me in today's discussion segment is one of our popular faces. That's Mr. Victor. Mr. Victor, you're welcome.
Thank you, sir.
All right, sir. let's talk about the unsettlement of APC aspirants by Buhari. What do you make of that particular headline?
Okay, we are very close to the primaries, and this is just almost a week. Tomorrow make it exactly a week.
Yes.
It happens next weekend. So the issue there is that people are wondering why is it that the president, who back in some months back rather, came out to make the notion for us to know that he has a preferred candidate. Although some, some aspirants and a huge number of politicians came against him that he should not have made that statement, meaning that he has somebody that he wants to impose as a candidate.
Okay.
But I also think that might be the reason why he has not yet showed any form of sign any longer that a particular candidate is his favorite.
Okay.
And I wonder, personally, why, because his administration also made it clear during the party primaries, as in when they selected their ESCOs. He made it clear that he wanted Adamu, who is the current APC chairman. But now, somebody that will succeed him is playing calm. For me, it is a good omen, because in many climes, especially in Africa, you find out that leaders that are exiting their tenure
Always have
usually
someone
imposes
pose somebody on the people.
Yes. And it's a good thing for our nascent democracy, leaving it open for a better candidate to emerge as the winner of the primary, the party's primaries.
Okay.
Although there are still strong insinuations.
Well, since sorry for cutting you, but since he already indicated his interest in Adamu, don't you think that he might still have a strong hold on the fact that he wants Adamu to be the one?
Well, mind you, Adamu is the party's chairman, national chairman.
Yeah.
I don't think he will want to allow the party chairman to decide who becomes the presidential aspirant. No, that shouldn't be
Okay.
that should be on the front burners actually. But there are still some strong insinuation coming from the governor of Jigawa State, Muhammad Baduru. He came out to say that Amechi, in fact, he had to even step down 2 days ago. He had to step down because he's a presidential aspirant under the flagship of APC. He had to step down for Amechi, saying that Amechi is, in quote, the chosen one. That has also caused some tension inside the APC bloc. Mind you, Amechi also has his own, he has his influence up there in the north, okay? And personally, I also think that he is one of the preferred candidates. Let's not also exclude the Senate President, Ahmad Lawan.
Why do you think Amechi is one of the preferred candidates?
From body language that I'm seeing,
Okay.
they are more like embracing the guy.
Okay.
And he's okay, look at the day he went to Kaduna. Look at the day he went to Kebbi State. People, as in, there is this excitement that he comes with whenever he's in the north.
Okay.
Yes, but I also think that he has not yet campaigned very well here in the south, and I wonder why his time is well spent more in the north than the south.
Don't you think him being welcomed with him being given such a warm welcome in the north, don't you think it's as a result of the fact that they see him as somebody people would be able to dance to their tune if he actually gets to, you know, be the one in office come 2023?
Well, mind you, well, there's this, there's this tension or argument, this strong argument between the South and the North when it comes to Amechi, Rotimi Amechi. Because him being the Minister of Transportation, you find out that, especially the railways,
Yes.
they are majorly up north. And remember, that particular railway that is moving through Kaduna, Kano, that is heading towards Niger, that railway, it's more like a big statement for him, meaning that he has the Northerners in his range.
Okay.
As in, he has them at heart. Just recently, the local government chairman of Ikure local government came out to say that Amechi left his people, that they cannot even see a particular development that he has brought to his people, but he has been going up north to do investments for them, to better their lives, okay, creating institutions, as in respect to the Ministry of Transport and all that, okay. But maybe we are dwelling so much on his candidate, but we also have to know that persons like Tinubu is still a strong force. He has his connections.
Definitely.
Okay. We still know that somebody like the Vice President, Professor Yemi Osibanjo, is still out there. We still have to note that we have the Senate President, Ahmad Lawan. For me, the APC, for the APC, they just have 4 candidates that will emerge. This is my prediction. From next weekend, we will know. 4 candidates being Rotimi Amechi, former governor of Rivers State, Ahmad Lawan, who is the current Senate President, one-time House of Representative member. We also have Professor Yemi Osibanjo, current Vice President of the country, and we have the Jagaban himself, the man with a cathedral, Tinubu himself. So this first candidate, I'm seeing them as the persons to clinch the party's ticket. Down for the PDP. So going forward to the PDP,
Okay.
going forward to the PDP, we have likes of Mike himself,
Okay.
who is a very, you can see him everywhere. He's been doing the work. In fact, if you see him physically, you find out that this man is getting drained. His physique, he's losing, he needs some rest.
Yes.
Okay? He needs some rest, okay?
I think you should find time to rest too, so he doesn't break down.
My brother, but it doesn't come easy, okay? It doesn't come
Yes,
easy.
it doesn't come easy. Still doesn't mean you should kill yourself even before the big day arrives.
No. They know how they manage themselves, but mind you, it really, really does not come easy. You have persons like Bukola Sariki, you have Atiku. Then you have Odom Emmanuel. As it stands, when I'm talking about this week, a whole lot of shifts has been made. Right now, Odom Emmanuel, he's coming up the ladder because just recently there was this 13 PDP governors meeting that just happened recently. And can you believe it? About 7 governors are clamoring for him to be the consensus candidate. Odom Emmanuel of Akwa Ibom. It's really calls for it's a shocking news for me because when he came out to declare, I was like, come on, Odom. Come to think of it, he's just new into this PDP politics. We've been having names like the Atiku. Although, mind you, just like the statement we made that persons like Tambuwal and the Atikus and the Bukola Sarakis should not be given power because they disappointed PDP when they left in 2015.
Okay.
They were the ones that helped to crumble PDP, that they should not give them, we can power. Give them the power, don't give them the power, because they might, they might go to another party. They have the
Such tendencies
tendencies, my brother, to carry this power
to cross carpets and cross
to
carpets.
another party. So I'm trying to quote Wike with his using the
I get,
the
I
worst
get,
power.
I get.
Now,
Giving people who are not stable.
yes,
Okay.
but we have to wait. May 28, 29 is just by the corner, and we believe that my prayers is come that day, everything should happen peacefully. We don't have to. There shouldn't be any cause for crisis or killings. Just like what we heard in APC Secretariat in Rivers State, that a man was gunned down. Although there are some reports saying that, especially from the police, saying that he collapsed, and especially even from the APC Secretariat chairman, that the man that was quoted dead, that he collapsed. I pray that he did not die, because you heard the information now that in Rivers State we have two powers that are slugging it out here in Rivers State.
Yes.
Magnus Abe and Rotimi himself, the former governor, they are fighting for the supremacy, who will hold the power in APC Rivers State. So just recently, just between Tuesday and now, primaries or congresses have been happening in the wards. Okay, because from these congresses we can know who will be delegates come these primaries, both for the gubernatorial and the National Assembly. They will be getting the delegates, persons going to vote from these primaries and from these congresses. Just 2 days ago, when they were having the congress in Rivers State, the Magnus Abe team came to the secretariat to scream, to protest that the group of Magnus supporters, that they have not been enlisted as delegates, that in fact they've been sidelined by the party, that anybody that supports Magnus Abe, they do not accredit them, they just push them aside as non-party members. And they came to voice their grievances. Lo and behold, you know the normal thing. Protests will, in Nigeria, many a times will turn to crisis. From there was gunshot, the police were shooting. Police will tell you that they are trying to scatter them, but one way or the other, we heard that one person was gunned down. But they came out also to say that that person only slumped but did not die. It is well with Nigerian politics.
Okay, Mr. Victor, thank you so much for sharing your thoughts on that thing, but let's not dwell much on it. Before we call it a day, I'd also like you to throw more light, or should I say, tell us your take on the Lagos State Police Force, clashing with Okada riders in Lagos and seizing over 200 bikes concerning the Okada ban that was placed in Lagos.
Mind you, January, Governor Sanwo-Olu of Lagos State, the governor of Lagos State, had already banned bikes, especially on the highways in Lagos. But just like...
and that's largely due to the recent lynching of a young man, I believe.
No.
Over 100 naira.
Okay, yes. Okay, mind you, January he banned it, but they came back again to reban after the lynching of the young man, sound engineer in Lekki Axis of Lagos. So the enforcement has started. If you are seeing, although you just insist local government, Etiosa, you have the Etiosa, you have Ikeja, Surulere, I can't remember the rest. But enforcement has started, and more will also happen. From June 1st, more will be included to the list. Well, now, the question is that, even in Lagos, as they are banning these bikes, man, do you know that they are threatening lives of citizens, and they are even causing chaos?
Chaos, obviously.
They are causing chaos.
Because I was about asking the same question. I wanted to ask a question. I wanted to ask, stopping these bikes, putting a ban to these bikes, yes, we know a lot of persons actually use these bikes to commit crimes and the rest. But we also need to consider the state of the country as regards insecurity right now. The banning of these bikes, would it in any way help the level of insecurity, or it would even promote insecurity.
My brother, that's why, oh gosh, let me not say what's on my mind. But
personally,
let me
I
just,
feel I feel it will contribute to insecurity, the rise in insecurity in Lagos State, actually.
my brother, go and check other cities, river states, for instance.
Because right now you have actually, let's say, robbed a lot of persons of their means of daily survival.
Means of daily survival,
Yes.
where you have many bike men being nuisance.
Yes.
Being nuisance on the road.
Thousands of them, let's say millions of them, who actually depend on that bike to earn a
See,
living.
you cannot, because of trying to survive,
Yes.
and you be a nuisance, and you be killing people, because these bike men, they if you go to Lagos, there is a particular word. There is a particular word in Lagos, in mainland, that they call Okada word. My brother, you should know now, even when they were here in the River State. But see, in Nigeria, you just have to get ready. Even in your business, anywhere, you have to get ready for a shift.
Any day, anytime.
Any day, anytime. So for bike men, they should even, you cannot tell a bike man in Lagos that they will not ban bike. But come to think of it, these guys are nuisance. They are nuisance. Many of them are nuisance. And they perpetrate crime with bikes. Okay? Just like the governor said, if you cannot survive, if you don't have any other thing to do, you don't have any other skills, my brother, leave Lagos. Leave Lagos. Because these guys, oh my God. Do you know the amount of crime that is being committed with bikes? These guys, they don't pay taxes. There's no proper union to have them registered.
Yes.
There's no proper union. You come out in the morning, a bike man will rob you. You don't know who you are facing, whether a proper bike man or a thief. So
Yes.
even in a scene environment, are we supposed to be using bikes to transport human beings? Are you getting my point?
Yes.
And come to think of it, these guys have formed a cartel. They formed a deadly group that if anything happens to one member, they come attack you. In as much as some persons are saying that this shouldn't, we should be very careful with this topic, because it also relates to religious and ethnic lines. But you can't help it.
But-
just like what happened. Sorry, sir.
Okay,
Just
okay.
just like what happened in Abuja. What happened? A bike man was carrying somebody in Day is just at the outskirts of Abuja. Carrying a lady, due to his rough riding style, the lady fell off, and an incoming vehicle
Crushed.
crushed and killed her.
Oh God. Oh my
And there
God.
was a riot. You already know that the country is tensed with what happened in Sokoto.
Yes.
So when this happened, there was a fight. From fight, the other bikemen and the community went to the market that this incident happened, just along the road. My brother, they went to that market and bought over 50 shops. That's the market I go to. Anytime I go to Abuja for a job, I go to that market. My brother, that market is more like, you cannot, which market for timber and woods? There's no market I've gone to in this country that is as big when it comes to woods, when it comes to plywoods and carpentry tools, building materials. My brother, they bought that market.
Wow.
People's money, millions. I saw cutting machines, edging machines being burnt. These people, they don't know the value of these machines. How can somebody go and borrow money to put a machine that will cost up to 20 to 25 million, and you burn it because of what? These guys have formed, what am I saying? These guys have formed a deadly group that if anything happens to one of them,
Mr. Victor,
they slam on innocent people.
I can remember while growing up, I think the only accident I had while growing up was that of a bike. And it was due to the same careless and reckless driving from them. So I'm actually aware of what those people can actually do. And I'm seriously not against the forming of cartels, actually. But my own, should I say, take on it is that these cartels should be formed for good purposes instead of bad purposes. Because the whole thing of them coming out to bring mayhem on or whichever person that stands in their way, it really doesn't tell well. It really doesn't tell well. It should be for good purposes, to come and settle peace. Okay, people, please, we are sorry for what our member did. Stuff like that. Than to come and say, what our member, then you cause more problems again. No, it shouldn't be that way. It shouldn't be that way. So, Mr. Victor, personally, I feel like, I don't know, I just have this feeling that the banning of this bike, yes, it's good, and it's actually bad in a way, because there are genuine bikers out there who are not troublesome, who are actually there for the good business.
It's unfortunate for them.
It's actually unfortunate.
It's been clouded by miscreants. Just same yesterday, we saw some footages, still Abuja, near the market, near the day market.
Yeah.
They came out on the highway and they were just chasing people. They were smashing cars. Can you imagine that? My brother, they should be dealt accordingly. They should be dealt accordingly. That's why what I wanted to say before, we need more prisons in this country. That's for another day.
Mr. Victor.
That's another day.
Mr. Victor says we need more prisons. Thank you so much, Mr. Victor, for sharing your thoughts with us. We really, really appreciate. Thank you so much. And as for you who has been there watching us, thank you so much for being faithful. We do hope you enjoyed the discussion for today. But unfortunately, this is where we have to call it a wrap on today's segment of the Newspaper Review. Please do well to subscribe to our channel and turn on your notification bells after subscribing, so you will be notified on when we come online and when we drop our new videos. On YouTube, it's at TAFTV. On Instagram, it's at TAFTV_NG. On Facebook, it's at TAFTV. And on Twitter, it's at TAFTV. Thank you so much for sticking there once again. My name remains Cyril Aloysius, and until I come your way again next time, do have a beautiful and wonderful day. Bye-bye.